And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Donald, Briggs.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am Donald Briggs, and this is tomorrow's Thespians. We have 3 wonderful performers for you this afternoon. Before we bring them out, we're going to go ahead and meet the judges who are going to be critiquing them. He's one of the stars of the smash hit A Chorus Line, can be seen in the new JetBlue commercials, and is the director and choreographer of a new musical called Romeo and Bernadette. I'm talking about none other than Justin Ross, everyone. Justin.
Thank you, Don.
All right, Justin, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Now, she's an actress, producer, and acting teacher known for her role as Tracy DeSanta in Grand Theft Auto 5, and currently producing a narrative feature that she wrote and will act in called Born That Way. I'm talking about Michal Sinnott. Michal Sinnott. All right, Michal. A little tongue twister there. A famed acting coach and owner of the Artists Playhouse, he's renowned for acting in such films as Howard Stern's Private Parts, Simone, and Finding Forrester. This is Barry Papick. Barry, welcome.
Thank you, Donald.
All right, Barry. We'll go ahead and get started. Bring out our first performer this afternoon, doing a play titled Only Children Believe in Butterflies by D.M. Lawson. Please welcome Maya C. Lucas, everyone.
Only children believe in butterflies. Adults know or learn that life is full of moths, caterpillars, and worms. When I'm alone, fear sets in. And I wonder if I really want to be alone. Maybe their visits comfort me. Was it you that visited me that day? And if you're still here, then why do I feel so alone? Please stay away! You won't visit me while you're here. Please go! Mother? Mother, is that you? Mother! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's usually no one around to listen. At least no one who's willing to bend. What's the use in talking if it doesn't do anyone any good? Do you believe in the afterlife? Like heaven, angels, pearly gates? I think it's a lot simpler than that. I think maybe we all end up a part of a greater whole, like a tiny molecule that's part of a greater being or a little star, part of the vast universe. We'll all go back from where we came. Whether it's God, the Great Spirit, or something else. I know that's where we'll be. Everything around me seems to point to the same conclusion. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Where we begin is where we end. We get life from the earth when we eat, and we give life to the earth when we die. The start is the finish. The rain that feeds the river comes from the sea. To each beginning, there is a definable end. I know it's getting dark. I don't want to go inside anymore. I don't like my room. This is where I want to stay. You can't keep me caged any longer. The locks won't work anymore. Did you know? I can fly. I'm leaving all the earthly matters to you. I belong near a different sun. Thank you.
Maya. All right, how you doing? Good. Okay, good. Let's hear what the judges thought about that, okay? Okay.
Hi, Maya.
Hi.
I have a few things I hope will be helpful. First, I want to say you have the most beautiful hands. Have you been told that you have beautiful hands before? Your fingers are exquisite. They really are. I'm being quite serious. A lot of people make a very good living as hand models. You might want to look into that. You do. You have beautiful fingers. And that's part of an actress's toolbox. And I say use it. So you should be aware of that if you're not. You do. Beautiful hands. I thought that, you have to be so careful when you're in this medium as an actor. I could not understand you more than half the time because you were keeping your conversation with this person you were speaking to very private and very personal. And I get that, but again, it's a technical note. You have to learn how to create that intimacy with another character on stage, but still know how to train your voice so that they can hear you in the back row and still think that you're speaking in a whisper. If this was an audition for people in a room 4x4, as they are sometimes, speaking at that level might be okay, but not on a stage. Also, when you drop the blanket, I was expecting you to be in some sort of, either pajamas or a nightgown or something. So I got confused. And that's another personal choice that actors make for an audition. Some don't bring any props and some go all the way. But it took me out of the piece when you suddenly revealed that you were in very, modern, contemporary garb, like you were going for brunch. And also just, there was a disconnectedness with the character. I felt that you'd done homework on it. You clearly have invested yourself in the piece, but it was all very much an idea as opposed to seeing this character actually living.
I disagree with Justin to a certain extent. I feel like I liked a lot of what you were doing. I feel like there were times when I felt like you were pushing. I think this is an incredibly challenging piece. So trust your emotions and don't push. Because there were moments when I felt like you were pushing the emotion, like you felt like, okay, I'm supposed to cry here, or you wanted to get to a certain point emotionally and it wasn't completely there. I mean, it was there to a certain extent. I felt that you were emotionally full, but if you're not there, you're not there. Don't push it, because we see it and we know if you're pushing it. The monologue down at the bottom where it's like, do you believe in an afterlife? I feel like that part is really wrapped up in her truth. There's something about those lines that makes all of this okay, because she's going to go to this place where she's going to be dust, and she's going to be part of something bigger. So I wanted to see more conviction there. I wanted to see that even though everything sucks right now, that it's going to be okay, because this is what we're going to get to. So I needed that to mean more in a way. Yeah, but good.
Yeah, I thought that your work was very good. There wasn't much that I couldn't hear, so I didn't have a problem with that.
I could hear you too.
Yeah. 1% of the truth is better than 100% of the not truth. So be really careful not to push, because we lose interest when we don't believe you. And there was a couple moments that you really tried to push for emotion, and then there were a couple moments that the emotion was pure and really wonderful. And I'd rather see those subtle moments than trying to go for something that's not there. I think the piece itself needs more colors. And I think that if you really stop and take a look at it, you can see the places where you can really build up and really see the places where you could really take more risks. But I thought that, I thought it was really nice work. You're young, and I think that's a wonderful thing that, that you're doing this and at such a young age, and you're really working hard. You have beautiful hands, and I thought that the work was really nice, and I think that you can take more risks. Be brave.
Maya C. Lucas, everybody. All right, we're going to bring out our next performer this afternoon. During from the play Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 3, by none other than William Shakespeare, Ray Mainenti.
My offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest cursed upon. A brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin in both neglect. What if this cursed hand be thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? And where too serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardon being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offenses gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state, O bosom black as death, O limed soul that struggling to be free art more engaged. Help angels, make us say, bow stubborn knees. Heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinners of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Ray Mainenti. All right, Ray. Great. All right, thank you. Let's see what the judges thought about that, okay?
Hi, Ray. Well, first I want to begin by saying you have beautiful hands. And hand modeling is, okay, enough. I felt like this was a good first pass. I think maybe nerves got the better of you. It was clear to me that you have done the work. You have in terms of learning your material, and I got that you made a number of strong choices, but it felt more like an exercise in, I have this line and I have this line, and then I'm going to turn here, and then I'm going to pick this up, and it just felt. It just didn't feel dropped in, You clearly, we were talking about it, I think on the last episode, about how sometimes an actor has to be their own director, and you have to make choices, and you hope that they're the right choices. But nonetheless, you have to make them, and I got that process has begun for you, and now what I would like it to see happen is that you feel so darn confident in this man's shoes that I can see what's truly beneath.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. I felt a lot of times like you were playing an idea of an emotion rather than acting on the line. I mean, there was an overall sense of fear and, not knowing what to do with what Claudius was conflicted about, but I felt like that was like an intellectual decision about an emotion rather than it really coming from a truthful place. Also, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you didn't speak the whole thought before taking a breath, and you have to be really careful about that in Shakespeare, because if you breathe in the wrong spot, then we lose the thought. So just look at that as well. But I don't think it's easy to do, and there were a lot of things that you were doing well. So just know that there's room for growth, but good base, yeah.
First, let me say, I love watching Donald run onto this stage with such hope and excitement. It's an amazing thing.
And that's not acting, that's really.
No, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I think Hamlet is probably the most powerful emotional play ever written. I think it's an incredible piece. I really think what Justin said was really apt here. I thought that you overly directed yourself. So what happened was, because you knew exactly what you wanted to do, where you wanted to look, you lost what's really important with Shakespeare, and it's the great Shakespearean actors know this. I saw Kenneth Branagh do Macbeth last summer, and it was just phenomenal. That the great Shakespearean actors know that it is just as important in a Shakespearean play as in a contemporary play to understand and do the work, to really see the people that you're speaking to understand who you're talking to drop down and do the work, and to make those stakes really come alive. Now, you had the stakes today, but they never really came alive because it was so directed that you never dropped into the work. And that's the next step here. I think technically it's fine, but I think as far as acting goes, you really have to drop in and do the work.
Ray Mainenti, everybody. Ray. All right. Thank you so much, Ray. The final performer for this afternoon, doing a monologue from Paul's speech by Bernardo Bertolucci and Franco Aurelili, Agnes Varda. Please welcome Robert McKinney.
My father was a drunk. Tough. Poor fucker, hard fighter, super masculine, and yeah, he was tough. My mother was very poetic, and also a drunk. One of my memories from when I was a kid was of her being arrested nude. We lived in this small town, little farming community. We lived on a farm. I'd come in from school and she'd be gone or in jail, something. I used to have to milk a cow every morning and every night, and I liked that. It was. I remember one time I was getting all dressed up to go and take this girl out to a basketball game, and I walked out towards the door. And my father said, "You have to milk the cow," and so I asked him. I said, "Would you please milk it for me?" He said, "No, get your ass out there." And so, anyway, I was in a rush. I didn't have time to change my shoes. I got cow shit all over my shoes. On the way to the basketball game, it smelled in the car. I don't remember very many good things.
Robert McKinney. All right. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Let's find out what the judges thought of that, okay? All right. Justin.
Well, Robert, I loved your work. I think you're a very honest actor, and it was a pleasure to see you work. But could you hear him now? I mean, you know, the last actor, you know, I was the only one that couldn't hear, evidently, and I was okay with that, you know. I mean, I know I'm the elder statesman on the panel, and you know, as Betty Davis said, growing old ain't for sissies, and losing your hearing is a part of that.
I couldn't hear him either.
But yeah, you know, you really cheated yourself from
Only
that.
in moments, not the whole thing.
That's absolutely correct. Because I did believe that there was life, real life happening in front of me, and I wanted to see more. So that technical note is what I will leave you with, and that's something that that can be. It is your problem.
It's always my problem.
Well, that's important to if you want a career on the stage.
If you want a career at all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, on film also, you have to be heard.
And I told him that in the audition. I said, he's a wonderful actor, but he has to. And I told him that's the one thing they're going to tell him over and over again if he's not heard. But, so go ahead.
But your hands are beautiful.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, there is a real honest, charismatic something about you that's really, really great.
It's an openness.
Yeah. I do think that you do yourself a disservice by competing with Marlon Brando. It's no one can compete with Marlon Brando. You know, so I mean, if this was a play, it'd be different, but it's not. It's a movie that we only think of him in the role. So try to find a piece. You don't want to be in his shadow. You don't need to be in his shadow. You're you, and you have something special to offer that he doesn't have.
This piece, let me just say, to me, Last Tango in Paris is the greatest acting performance ever. And this monologue is the greatest acting performance in Last Tango in Paris. So what you chose was something, you know, that was an incredibly tough thing to bite off. You know, Brando, he was our greatest living actor, and you know, just in my opinion. You know, it's funny that you should mention his hands because you put them in your pocket, and you still are. And when you put your hands in your pocket, you cut off your emotion. You know, this piece is, if you watch the film, if you see Brando, it's the fullest piece in the film. I mean, yeah, it's incredibly, it's incredibly full, and it's such a beautiful piece. Don't laugh off your emotion. You tend to do that. It's a terrible thing for an actor to do, because what it does is, you see, if you choose to laugh at an emotion, that's fine. But what you do is you laugh off your emotion, so when you get full, you laugh because it's a safe place to go. And we want to stay away from safe places to go. And by the way, it's great that you chose Brando, because, you know, or a piece that Brando did, because Brando never went to a safe place, ever. You know, the great thing about watching him is that anything he did, he took a huge risk, but he always took that risk. And what happened was, when you got full, you started to laugh it off. Those little moments are death to an actor, because you do have a wonderful instrument, and you are interesting to watch. So I want to see you fully drop in and fully go there, and not shortchange us. I felt shortchanged today.
And this is Robert McKinney. Thank you, Robert. All right, this is the end of the show. Can I get the other two actors back out here again, Ray and Maya? Come on out here, join us, please. All right. All right, we've come to the end of another wonderful performance. Once again, thank Robert McKinney, Maya C. Lucas, and Ray Mainenti. Thank the judges, the audience member, the crew. Thank you all for joining us. See you next time on Tomorrow's Thespians.